Yeah, I just wanted to make a little video really quick. I haven't really done a video. I mean, I did videos about God and stuff like that. Hang on for a second. I gotta adjust my shirt. Yeah, I did some videos about God and stuff like that. I mean, but I just never uploaded them because they turned out to be like a really long video. And I don't know. I deleted them. Um, Cause it wasn't the whole thing wasn't about God. I kind of just like veered off into like I started talking about some things that related to God, and then I just kind of like veered off on like more current events. I mean, it all actually intertwined. I mean, it's not like I just started was talking about God and all of a sudden I was talking about baseball. Like it wasn't some crazy like redirection or anything like that. But the video just wasn't really what I wanted to have it be, so I just deleted it. But anyways, I during my Bible study one night recently, actually it was the other day actually, I came across Romans 1:16 through 16 through 17, and it says verse 16, excuse me, it says, "For I am not ashamed of this good news about Christ. It is the power of God at work, saving everyone who believes, the Jew first and also the Gentile." So the Jew was God's chosen people. Those were the Jews. Like I said, look, don't listen to anything I say. I mean, you know, first of all, I'm not some seasoned person. I mean, there's people out there that have been walking with Christ for, 40, 50 years. Don't even listen to them either, man. Really, like, you really don't know who's a Christian and who's not a Christian. Everybody that calls himself a Christian or a child of God might not be that. There's genuinely people in this world that really think that they're children of God, and they're being duped. Don't listen to me or anyone. I'm not saying I'm a child of God. I am a child of God. But I'm just going to let you know right now that even a child of God makes mistakes every day. And I just want to let you know that don't listen to me. I'm not God. Don't do that. Listen, see God for yourself. I say that in every one of my videos, and I'm going to continue to. And I don't care if I sound like a broken record. I am not to take the place of God, neither is anyone else. So, just understand that. I mean, you listen to me if you want to and run with it. I suggest you don't, though, because that's just dumb. But anyways, that's what verse 16 says. And the Jews, like Israel and stuff like that, you know, um, those were God's chosen people. And I just this is actually what I began to touch on in my last video, and then I kind of started veering off into like other things that kind of bled into a whole bunch of stuff, and then by the time the video was over, it was just long and drawn out and exasperated, and I just got, it just wasn't really something I really wanted to upload. Just kind of fell into, just stuff I just really wanted to talk about, but that wasn't really what the video was supposed to be about, so I just deleted it. But the Star of David, when it comes to Israel, a lot of people say, well, isn't the Star of David satanic? I mean, they say it's the Star of David, and I actually came across by accident. I didn't even mean to. Actually, you know what? I meant to, because for some reason it popped in my head, I believe. I was like, you know what? I took a look at the Star of Israel, and I was like, that just seems like a little odd, you know. So I Googled it. I said, you know what? That doesn't seem very godly to me, So I came across a website. I'm not gonna sit here and say I did extensive research on this, but I came across a website that seemed pretty informative. I'll tell you that much. I mean, really, it is what it is. Like I said, look it up for yourself. Don't listen to anything I say. But this website was talking about, the Star of David. That star is not really the Star of Israel. Like, Israel didn't even become a nation, really, until the 1940s. 1943, I think. I don't know. Look it up for yourself. Israel is not, America isn't even, the United States of America, my country, isn't even an old nation, by definition. I mean, we're only, a couple hundred years old? I don't even know what it is. Really, I live here. I mean, come on, man. But seriously, I don't like. We're not old at all. We're still a very young nation. I mean, compared to other nations in this world that have been around since, I mean, man, forever. Like I mean, they talk about Egypt in the Bible, man. They don't talk about America in the Bible, even in Revelation. That's a little scary, but I could see why with the way this country's going. But nonetheless, I mean, some people actually say America is Babylon, or I could see Sodom and Gomorrah. A mixture of some things. But whatever, it is what it is. I guess you leave that up to your own, imagination, or see God on it or whatever if you want to. If you're from America or even Canada, I mean, if you're from Canada, what affects us affects you. Don't think you're safe, because you're not. So wait, what? Oh yeah, the star of the Star of David. The thing is the Rockefellers, which is a satanic bloodline. You do some research on them too. Some people call it the Illuminati, the elitists, or whatever. But these people funded, had something to do with funding Israel. I don't know how you can fund a country that doesn't even exist. I don't know. I read it, man. It was like early in the morning. I don't even really remember. And this was, like I said, over a month ago. It seems like, it definitely was over a month ago. It might even have been more along the lines of almost 2 months ago by now. But it was 17 something. I think it was 18 something. I don't know. It was somewhere around there. A long time ago, over 100 years ago, I'll tell you that much. Well over 100 years ago. But this family funded Israel somehow, and I guess part of the if I remember what I read, part of the agreement or something was to put that star, which is actually a satanic star, on the flag of Israel. That was part of the agreement. Kind of like, okay, well, we'll fund you. We'll hook you up with what you need, but you got to do something for us. You have to, put that star or whatever it is on the flag. I mean, obviously, the devil's an imposter to God, and that's basically, in my opinion, that's what it was. I mean, putting a star on the flag of God's country, I mean, kind of, trying to usurp God, going back to what it was in the Garden of Eden, trying to usurp God. I mean, it makes sense when you think of it like that. But anyways, this is what this guy or girl or whoever had the article was talking about. But actually, this person went on to say that I didn't do the extensive research, but supposedly they did some kind of research. I don't know how extent it was or whatever, how deep it was, but they said that the real symbol of Israel is supposed to be, you ever walk into a church and see like a weird Jewish like candle, they look like candle holders, but there's like they kind of look like this, and they have like candles, you know what I mean? I mean, come on, man, really, you have to know what I'm talking about. Supposedly, according to this person, that was, according to what they found in their research, that was, the original symbol of Israel, until the Rockefellers said, you know what, we'll fund you, but you got to do something for us in return. I guess that was part of the deal. If not, I don't even know if there was more to it than that. Like I said, I'm just going by what somebody else said. Don't quote me, don't do nothing. I'm just saying to say it because I just felt it was important, because it's, I kind of looked at that star and I really didn't think too much of it, because I didn't really know better. But then I heard somebody pop the question. I'm like, you know what? That star does look a little like odd and just like, I don't know, out of the ordinary. So one night I just got a little curious for some reason. Like I said, boop, popped in my head, and I was like, I'm going to do some research on this just real quick. I mean, before I went to bed, and I just researched it up real quick, and then I came across that article. It was a lengthy article. Like, there was way more to it, and I was just like, man, I got to go to bed. I don't even have like, I couldn't even keep my eyes open at that point. I mean, I had to fall into sleep, man. It was crazy. But there was like, the article was like miles long. So you go on there and just, kind of search that however you feel fit. But That article's out there somewhere. I don't remember the exact website or the title or the author or whoever, but it's up there. I don't even really remember what I typed in the Google. It was just something that, okay, well, the Star of David, Israel, or whatever. I don't know. But, that's what I did, and that's what I came up with. So, again, this is not my research, but in case any of you have questions, if you're interested, there it is. I thought those were God's people. What is that star doing up there? Well, I'm just telling you what I found out. True or not, I don't know. But anyways, moving on. Let me see. Verse 16, like I said, and the reason I went on to explain that is because, like I said, the last part of this verse, which I'll read over, by the way, is mention the Jews, and I just felt it was important, because Israel, Jews, all that stuff. And then you also have people out there saying that, the black people are the real Jews and the real Hebrew or whatever Hebrew Jews. Like you got some Hebrew, black Hebrew, or the black Hebrewites or black Israelites. That's what they call it. Really, man, I don't know. I mean, to tell you the truth, look, I don't even know. I really don't. I've seen all kinds of Jesuses, by the way. I've seen Puerto Rican Jesus. I've seen Mexican Jesus. I've seen Jamaican Jesus. I've seen black Jesus. I've seen, all kinds of Jesuses. You know what? I don't care if Jesus is Hawaiian. I don't care if Jesus is looks like Yao Ming, bro. I don't care. I really don't care. Jesus is Jesus, and all I know is that whoever Jesus is, whatever color he is, he saved my life, and he can save yours too. Okay, moving on. To me, like that's the thing about these black Israelites or whatever they call themselves. They think that all white people are going to hell. They think that every other race of people, Jesus came down here and died for everyone else except for the white people. The white people, it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to hell. Like, period, dude. That's it. Like, because you have white skin, nothing else. Like, the only reason you're going to hell is because of your white skin, which, I don't know, like, I guess it's maybe a lack of melanin or something. Melanin being just some weird stuff, man. I don't even know. It's just weird, and it's not even biblical. Think of it this way. If Jesus, if the color of Jesus's skin was important, then why isn't it in the Bible? Really? They don't even talk about Jesus. I mean, really, if all white people are condemned to hell no matter what because of the lack of melanin or, their white skin or whatever, then why doesn't the Bible ever talk about anything like that? Like their story, what they do is they'll sit there and compare themselves to the Bible and make it sound really, really like they pass it off like, dude, these guys are really like legit. But then they start hitting on things like, oh, white people are going to hell, and then you're just like, all right, dude, not all right. You had me, but now you just kind of make, and now it's just you're just getting a little dumb, Like, come on now, man. Like, how much sugar did you put in your Kool-Aid before you started talking to me? You're just talking stupid, bro. Really. I mean, you're just not making sense anymore. Because once you start going off on this whole, pro-black, anti-white, kill whitey sort of thing, it's just kind of, I don't know, man. I just feel, it's like you're going off on this Assalamu alaikum weird, just weirdness, and it just gets weird and creepy, and I'm not being prejudiced, man. I'm just saying, really, if I'm going to hell because I'm white, then that means that God it makes expendable people, and really, I mean, I have a hard time believing that God is going to condemn all white people to hell. That doesn't even make sense. To me, it just doesn't make sense, because I see some good Christian white people out there, and on the contrary, I see some black people who are out here worshiping the devil. So really, you mean to tell me that a black person like these rappers out here can sit, like, you Google this, you see pictures, dude. Listen to their music. Look what Jay-Z and Beyonce does. I mean, they're puppets. They're puppets for Hollywood, but still,